Okay, we're going to be drawing a nutcracker, and the materials you'll need for this project are a watercolor brush. I have a metallic marker, but if you don't have a marker, you can use a metallic pencil or a metallic crayon, a red marker, a black Sharpie, and a pencil with an eraser, a water cup with fresh water. I'm using a salad bowl and a rag that can be reused. Okay, so and what you're gonna need is watercolor paper or a mixed media paper. And I have already drawn out a couple of nutcrackers just to show you a couple of examples. This one's very simple, both done in watercolor. This one, as you can see the difference, I've colored in with the metallic marker the leaves, and I've added more red dots, and I've done a different coloration for this nutcracker, used a little bit more metallic in it, and as you can see, both are very festive. So we are going to use the bowl, and you're gonna center the bowl on your piece of paper and trace it with your pencil. Try to center it, and then just go lightly around, hold it down with one hand, and with the other draw around to make a nice circle for a border. Now what you're going to do is we're going to do the border first because it'll be easier then to add your nutcracker. So you could add just simple leaves going all the way around, any kind of design that you'd like, really. Make it simple, kind of festive for the holidays. And I'm just going to be drawing this in my marker. So I'm going to add a very simple leaf. Now, it's better to do this in pencil first before you start using your marker, because if you're not happy, then you're gonna have to start all over again, and that's not fun. Oh, and also don't forget, you're gonna need some watercolors for this. So I'm just gonna draw out a simple kind of garland for this, and staying on my circle that I've already drawn out, so that makes it easier to do your design. And I have the Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite playing in the background to have some mood music. Okay, so I'm going to continue this, and you can always turn your paper sideways as you're working so that you can stay on task, stay on your line. And I'm going to take this line going right down to the middle of my circle. Then I'm just going to add a little bit more detail and then continue on to the bottom. So you can keep flipping back and forth. Again, I recommend you using pencil first to do your drawing, and then trace over it with your marker. Makes it much easier. So before I get to the center, I want to look at my circle first. You can run a ruler across if it's easier. I'm just going to do a simple circle design on each side. That way I've got them pretty much mapped out. So I'm going to take a line touching that pattern, and if you have the room, maybe add one more set of leaves. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to kind of just make it whimsical and simple, and I'm going to add my bottom leaf directly across from the leaf I did just above. And then I'm just going to continue on. And then go all the way down to my bottom of the circle. And then do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you're able to see what you're doing. And then just take that. So now that you've already gotten your, and you can just attach this if you want to the leaf just above. Now that you've got your border already designed, now you can start drawing your nutcracker. So as you can see, I don't have all of the nutcracker, just his upper half. And these are two very different nutcrackers that can give you some ideas. This one does not have eyebrows or cheeks. And what I've done is added some different design on the crown itself. I've added this part that's a little bit taller. So you can definitely see the difference in the hair design. You could do a different kind of mustache. You could have the mouth show the teeth in this sample as well. And as you can see, I've done a simple design on the chest of the Nutcracker's uniform. So I'm going to now draw out the Nutcracker, and you want to kind of find the center of where you've done your circle, and you're going to draw just a little bit further up from the center. You're going to draw a straight line. Make sure you've got a nice eraser on hand that you can make your line. And then however you draw the length of this line will determine the size of the head and the crown on the top of your nutcracker. So you're going to take a line going up at an angle on each side of that straight line, and it is a straight line also. And you could just kind of do alternating heights of the angle lines. As you can see, this one has tall and short angle lines. This one just has two short ones and one wider one. So you can definitely get some ideas from the ones I've just done. Now this one's slightly different than the other two that I've drawn out. And then I'm going to do the top part of my crown. And I'm going to take that over. So I may need to erase this. And draw lightly while you do your design so that it's easy to erase and you don't see it once you're done erasing. And you could add like a feather or just like a pom-pom on the top of the crown. You can do some designs on the crown. I did a diamond and circles. You could just do circles, or you could just do all diamond shapes. So you can definitely get very creative with some patterns on the crown. And kind of take a look at it, see if there needs to be any adjustments. And it doesn't have to. I'm going to move this one over just a little bit. And that's why it's a good idea to draw it out before you start to trace with your marker. Now, right at the end of that straight line, draw a curved line out for the side of the head, and then you're going to draw a line straight across the bottom of the head and extend it just a little bit further out than the head itself. Okay, so you could do some zigzags for his hair, kind of a curl for the hair, some wavy hair. There are just so many options that you can add to your nutcracker. And on this one, I'm not going to add eyebrows, but if you wanted, you could do bushy eyebrows. You could just do a thin curved line or a thicker curved line for eyebrows. And I'm just going to do a simple mustache. And then just a circle for the mouth, because that'll be colored in. I want to make sure that this hair is a little more even than I did on the other side. Kind of take a look at what you've done. Okay, and now I want to do the shoulders. So I might not have a lot of room for a belt on the waist. I want to just kind of draw a line coming in at an angle. You could add a belt if you wanted to, if you have the space, if you have the room. As you can see, I'm making some adjustments before I then start to trace it with my black marker. And I make sure that the marker is also permanent, because if it's not permanent, then it will bleed when it gets wet. So I need to clean this up a little bit. And I think I'm ready to start tracing. Now, you can use the Sharpie marker, like I said. It's a good permanent marker, and when it gets wet, it will not bleed out, and that's what you want. So you're gonna just kind of start adding your detail. I'm going to take that in just a little bit more. And of course, once I'm done with this, I'm going to erase any pencil lines that I have. And then I'm going to add my diamond shapes.